Hi there guys, the Lord Fudger here, and welcome to a short little guide I'm going to be making on Forestry in Farming Simulator 2015. Now, as you know, Forestry is a completely new aspect in Farming Simulator 15, non-existent in 2013, although there have seen mods that were capable of doing Forestry, but I just want to make a quick guide on why you should do Forestry and how to do it. So let's first start out with a bit of machinery and how much it's probably going to cost you in the long run. So if you check out my video on how to make money fast in Farming Simulator, you can see that you can start this quite quickly if you complete one of these missions. You're probably looking at spending in the region of £500,000 on setting up a forestry network. So what you're going to need for that is basically a cutter, tractor, trailer, a seeder, and a stump collector. And the seeder and the stump collector I'll get onto, so those are a bit more late game, so you don't really need to use those while you are in the early game. But what I'll start with is just showing you the bits of machinery that I have at the moment. So if we hit the P button and go over to forestry equipment, you can see, so I'm in possession of this FSI, this Damcon, the Steeper, and the Buffalo. Now, and the Scorpion King. Now I did have the Buffalo, and I did have the Yen, so I'll speak a bit about this first. So the Buffalo is designed to pick up and carry wood. However, I found one problem is that it rides too high for the box that is present in the selling area for wood to detect that logs are present, and therefore you can't really sell your wood using that Buffalo. You have to unload it again when you get to that location, and as you will see, loading and unloading takes an awfully long time. So I did go for that, discovered that I couldn't sell it as easily, so I went for the Stepper instead. Now the Yens here is used to make wood chips, and I think they do need to do a bit of patchwork both on the Buffalo so that you can sell your logs, and on the Yens so that your wood chips are much easier, because right now it's a bit buggy when you're trying to put wood into things. So I'm not going to cover the Yens, I'm not going to cover the Buffalo, because I don't feel they'll actually be beneficial to your farm. So if we just go through these now, we have this here. So this saw cuts tree stumps. So what it does, it removes the tree stump and allows you to plant fresh trees where you are. The timber runner is used in conjunction with a truck or a dolly attachment for your tractor, and you put the logs in there. You have the Damcon, which seeds new trees, and trees cost $40 for 40 quid rather for a pack of 20. So they're really, really cheap, and the rewards are sensational. Then you finally have the Steeper. So you don't really need the FSI and the Damcon. Early game you will once you seem to exhaust the map of trees, but I'm sure you won't get that far. Or you could, and then you need to start planting. And then you've obviously got the Stepper, so that's 54 grand. Then the big expense really is the Scorpion King at 317. So putting those together, you're looking in the region, combined with a tractor that is relatively cheap. So I've just gone for a nice and easy, I think it was on sale. So yeah, you can see I went for this Steyr Multi 115, and that was down to about 80 grand, so I bought myself one of those. Nice and easy, does the job, everything that I need to do. So without further ado, let's get on to the actual forestry itself. So I'll jump into the Scorpion King here. So what you need to be mindful of is that while doing forestry, it's all very much mouse related. So the mouse controls your boom. Now what I found is actually easier to use the keyboard. Now I didn't know you could use a keyboard until I decided to check out the controls, and I can tell you now that J and N, so I'm pressing those now, N descends, J rises, K rotates you left, M rotates you right. And if you want to now access the secondary functions of the machine, you just press Shift, so J and N now just extend the last bit of the boom, and if you press K and M, it extends the boom forward and backwards. So if you take a look at the cockpit view, you can see, you've got quite nice, you can see what the harvester is set on. So 100 means that it is set on cutting 100 centimetre long chunks of wood. Now, I recommend 5 metre chunks. Get the most out your money. And you do have a new viewpoint which follows this branch itself. What we'll do, I'll stick into third person. It's nice and easy, and the first thing I'll do is press B to turn on the harvester. You can see it unfolds, and all you want to do is now line up that harvester with the base of the tree. And you can see in the top left there, it presses X to cut. Now what I'm going to do is change the length up to 5 metres. Now with 5 metres, I'm going to cut the tree. You can see a chainsaw, slice it through the tree, and there we go, it's all done. Down goes the tree, so timber, and it's out of the way. What I then like to do is just move it left or near the tractor that will pick up the logs. And you can can see it's kind of pointing at the tractor now, so what I'm going to do, and the way I do this is by holding both left and right mouse button. Hold them both together and just move the mouse around. So you can see the tree is actually caught on a far tree, so I can't do it. But what we're going to do is just, all you need to do to cut it into segments now, press X, and it trims the tree for you as well. So press X, there we go, 5 metre long. And you keep doing this until you've cut the whole tree. It doesn't take very long. And there we go. Logs are just coming out, and this is a nice big tree, so you can see we've got a fair few logs there. Nice good thickness as well. There we are, last couple of logs now. And that looks like it. Oh no, we've got one more. Why not do that as well? So you can see there are all the logs. Now we no longer need the Scorpion King. We can get out of that and get into the really lengthy process, which is actually loading logs into the back of the trailer. So jump into my tractor here, just drive it forward a little bit so that we can access, use the trailer on the back there to pick up logs. So watch out for that log there. And here we are. Good, that's a good position. So I'll just jump out the tractor, and now you actually enter your rear seat. So the first thing you want to do is press X, extend the legs, give yourself a stable base. And once again, just like the Scorpion King, you can use your mouse or keys J, K, N, M, or indeed using Shift and pressing those keys to move the arm around. Now, due to the fact you need to be rather accurate with the claw, I prefer to completely stick to keys here, using the mouse to change my viewpoint. So you can see I'm going to go for that log, which is just by the tractor there. So I've tried to get a bird's eye view, and it looks like my arm's relatively over the log. So now by pressing the left and the right mouse button and moving the mouse right or left, I can twist the claw. With the claw now twisted, so it is perpendicular or at right angles to the log itself, I can drop the claw down, and you can see it has landed smack bang on the log. Now in order to close the claw, you again press the left and the right mouse button and just push your mouse up. And you can see the claw has now grabbed the log. So pressing J, I can pick the log up. With the log now raised, I'm going to rotate it all the way back round so that it's directly over the trailer. I find it easier to store logs so that they are parallel with the wheelbase of the trailer. So what you're going to do now is just press the left and the right mouse button and twist so that the log is now parallel with the trailer. And I've been using the keys to move the boom. Now for fine adjustments, you can use the mouse a little bit there, and now you want to lower it, but obviously by pressing N you're going to lower it outwards. So what you want to do is press Shift N, and you're lowering the log while bringing it in towards the trailer as well. And then once it's in all the way, you just press N to the bottom, a bit more Shift N, N, and you then push both the left and right mouse button and push down. And you can see that has dropped the log inside the trailer. So you're going to rinse and repeat until you get all logs in the trailer. I won't show me doing that. I'll cut to that in a later part of the video, and I'll see you then. So I'm back, and as you can see I've loaded all the logs that I wanted onto the trailer itself. So what I'm going to do now is just lower the arm onto the woods near the back. You can see, just going to extend it a bit more and try and get it near the back as possible, and just push the wood down. That's just going to keep it stable while we drive off to sell the wood. So then I'm just going to leave that vehicle, enter the tractor, and you can see it doesn't need to be an immensely powerful tractor, and then drive it off. Now, just FYI, there are only certain trees you can chop down in Farming Simulator. You can't just go around cutting down every tree that you see. So you can see trees on my right, these kind of willow-looking trees, you are unable to chop down. They are not supported by harvesting, whereas the pine trees on the left are. So those are the trees that you're cutting, planting, and indeed harvesting and making money off of in your game. Now, it is rather tedious loading the trailer, and because of that, I don't recommend doing forestry continuously. What I'd prefer to do is, if I have someone seeding a field in another part of the farm, I will go do a bit of forestry until the worker has seeded the field, and then once he's fertilised the field as well, I'll keep doing forestry until that's done. But forestry is an extremely fast way of earning money. You're looking using this tractor and log combo at about £5,000 of logs. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decent logs and one kind of little skinny log. So I'm looking to probably get 30 grand. So you've got 87 grand at the top right. Hopefully that goes into region 105, 100, up to 115,000. You can see it's low enough for me to sell all that wood. If it doesn't work, all you need to do, jump out, hop into the back, and just force that last bit of wood down into a place where it will be sold. There we go, and you can see £112,000. Nice and easy. So with that done, what you want to do, you can see we've just earned 30 grand. Now you might be wondering what this train is here for. So the train actually has the wood on the trailer. Now there is unfortunately, no animation to show you the wood going onto the train itself. But what you can do is send the train away, and what will that do is give you that same amount of money again. So if we then send off train, jump into the tractor, and try and follow this train, you will see that that train earns us the same amount of money again. So you're looking at that, we end up with 30,000. You see that one load of logs gets us an entire 60 grand, which is colossal. So we're looking probably going up from there to about 125, 130,000 pounds. The train disappears off in the tunnel. Give it about 30 seconds. You'll hear a little ding on the top right. There'll be a new bit of money. Will happen, trust me, don't worry. So, ding. There we go, 137 grand. So you just got another 25,000 just for sending the train off. So don't forget to send the train off once you send those logs as well, because that will give you even more money. And I believe it stacks. So the more logs you put in and wait, and you send the train off, you'll get a shed load of money, which is absolutely wonderful. So that's the main body of forestry: cutting down a tree, loading it on its trailer, where to sell it, why to sell it. So next thing I want to do is, now this is the long-term plan, and if you don't want to watch this, by all means don't need to, because you've got plenty of trees on the map. But if you're just interested to see what it's like to either saw down a tree stump or indeed plant some trees, just keep watching for the moment. You see, I've mown a fair few trees here, and I don't really like those top bits because they don't sell for much. So I just kind of leave them on the floor, really. They don't get in anybody's way. So just going to go and attach the stump saw. And all you need to do with this is just find yourself a stump of a tree that you've cut down. Once you've found that tree, you just want to reverse onto it until the saw is above it. Now again, with mouse controls you can lift and lower the saw. So what we're going to do is lower the stump cutter so it's ready to go, and with that we are going to turn it on by pressing V. And what you need to do is just drop it into the stump until you see the wood chip start to fly. Stump. Why is that working? Oh. Okay, it looks like a bit of a bug, so we'll just go to this next tree stump along and go here. There we go. So you can see these chips are actually starting to saw down the stump. Depending how big the stump is, depends how long you saw down. So chips still flying, chips are flying, chips are flying, and the stump, ta-da, gone. So what that now means is you can plant trees or drive over that location just as you would normally. And you can see if you leave the leaves on long enough, so there's the normal leaves after a fresh cut, and there are the leaves after a while descending into these twigs. And the leaves on the ground. So yeah, there's a little animation for that. So now I'll drop the saw and show you the growing process of the trees at hand. So you can see I have some saplings here, freshly planted, and some trees that have been growing. So it looks like about 3 to 5 days for trees to grow to the next stage. So you're looking at quite a long wait in terms of game time, but in that time you can cut down loads of trees. So I've just got this field here. I've decided to try and see if fertiliser makes a difference. No difference whatsoever. Trees grow the same as they are. And you just use this seeder as you would a normal one. But another FYI, you cannot use this with a worker. You have to use this manually and send the trees along. It's also rather slow, tedious. So just like I said earlier, you really want to be using this in while someone is seeding the field, not during a harvest, not during a busy time. But I hope you found this video useful, guys, on the newest and latest bits of forestry and farming simulator. Bit mixed about it at the moment. Nice easy way to earn money. Bit tedious when it actually comes to the loading of logs itself. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll see you all in another guide very soon.